This is what she said. Would you date a bus driver?
If you own the bus.
Would you date? If he owns the bus. If he owns it. If he owns the bus. Yes. I said what I said. But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild because I was never talking about money at all. I was talking about black ownership. Average is not and will never be good enough for me.
Yeah, because the whole world revolves around you and what you need and what you want to see in life. Because God forbid you go to Walmart and you see a 48-year-old man as a greeter, and you're looking at him like, ugh. You're 48 years old. You should be retired by now. You should be sitting on your private yacht with your wife while your kids go to Yale on your expense. See, this is a problem with these, suburban elitist, pseudo black women who want to be the mayor of Negro Town and are angry and uptight that they're single, and they want to blame their singleness on the average everyday brother and make it seem like, oh, it's because we're not ambitious enough.
The gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
How do you know it's not good enough for me? how you know that, Cletus, who's the greeter at 48, how do you know that he's not living the life that he wants to live? See, this is this bullshit of black women's entitlement.
Well, excuse me. Don't mess with that.
I understood where she was coming from. I mean, my grandmother's husband was a sanitation worker. One of the hardest working people that I've ever met. His name was Dr. Dash, and was a surrogate grandfather to me. And I would go with him sometimes, and it's a really difficult job, and it doesn't pay that well, not as well as it should.
It should, because
I thought the conversation wasn't about salary.
Very much better. It is. We know that now with France. But I will say this, the three things that couples argue about the most historically: money, sex, and children. And the issue with the African American community is it's been very hard for us to build generational wealth, because our men are disproportionately targeted by the police and incarcerated.
Y'all still running with this bullshit. Y'all, and the thing is, it's not like niggas are going to jail like that long nowadays. These days going to jail probably is like the easiest thing to go through. It's not like niggas are getting 65 life or some shit.
Our neighborhoods are redlined, so we can't buy in neighborhoods with.
What neighborhood are you in, Sonny? Sonny Hostin? What neighborhood you in? What neighborhood you in? To where you gotta worry. See, this is the thing about these blacks in these high places that live good and then wanna be the Negro spokesperson. It's like you don't live in these communities. You don't give a fuck about these communities. So why worry about it? But they're picked to be the token heads, for us. And the issue is that we don't really need them. I don't need a black voice on The View talking lowly about the black community and shit. We get it. We hear it a million times.
Good schools, and all of the rest that comes with it. So if you want to build generational wealth as an African American women, and we are the most educated
as African American women, didn't I just say on another video that it's not black women's responsibility to create generational wealth? It's not the black woman's responsibility to create a legacy. That's not your responsibility. You can't do it. Even if you tried, you can't do it.
Graphic in the country, then it's hard to marry a bus driver because you're gonna have to, your kids may not be in the best schools. Well,
so what? So what? Majority of the schools here are shit anyways. So the fuck what? So the fuck what? So the fuck what?
Kids, aren't
but he might be the best father.
Well, he may be the best father, but we're talking about generational wealth now.
See, the thing is with this these women want free money. They want, and this generational wealth shit. I don't even know why they're even worried about that. Why they're worried about it? You have to have a husband to get generational wealth. You're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to stay married to him, to said husband, to get generational wealth. Child support is not generational wealth. See, that's the thing that y'all like to go like light years, and I'm like, no, I'm a dude that goes by the inches, inch by inch by inch. You bitches are going miles to generational wealth, to fucking world domination and all that craziness. It's like, nah, you guys are simple. You guys have to be more easy to deal with before you get the generational wealth. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the generational wealth because your parents didn't give you generational wealth. It is going to be your job. It's going to be your black husband's job to be able to do it. And 9 times out of 10, we're not going to be the generation to do it. We're not going to be the generation to have generational wealth. Sorry, not happening. Not happening. Not with these gas prices. Not with these costs for homes nowadays. Good luck. Sorry, it's already been predicted. It's been predicted 100 years ago that you black people will be the permanent underclass. Already predicted. It's already the line has already been drawn. We will be the permanent underclass. Nothing's changing that. The nigga who's driving a bus ain't changing that. The next black male president is not gonna change that. Too late. The thing is, it's just y'all chicks have to just choose better or be satisfied to what you got. I would, if the black woman, y'all are just making, $30-something. You're a cashier at Dollar General. The bus driver is within your limits. And honestly, that's pretty damn good because he can retire off that. That's a federal job. So that comes with health care and all that shit. So a bus driver ass nigga, that would be a luxury next to a guy in the military or a police officer at that. But this is this bullshit to where it's like, oh, black men just need to get better jobs, and I'm like, you guys are the one that are telling us to vote for the worst presidential option ever. Like the worst is just Democrat. And then when we were like, okay, wait a minute. These Democrats aren't giving us they're not giving us options to have or create generational wealth. And they're constantly putting us in these environments or these situations that keep us poor. A single mom ain't going to create generational wealth. And the thing is that you had a black male president, and we failed to hold him accountable, and then we try to latch on to the potential of a first female president. That failed, and now you have an old dementia president that people literally have zero faith in. But because he hid behind Kamala Harris, now all of a sudden, he's the next big thing next to Bill Clinton and all that shit. And niggas will go up and down talking about he did that. You guys are fucking idiots. I don't want to hear no black woman who's talking about voting for the next rest of her lifetime for Democratic presidents. Or candidates, I should say. Not trying to hear all that shit. Main ones that don't need to be talking.
Point, I am the exception. I make a lot of money, but until I become the rule, I don't know that black women can afford to do this. I'll marry.
If you're the exception, the bus driver is not your option, and no one's forcing you to talk to the bus driver. Who you can talk? You can talk to the bench warmers in the NBA. You can talk to the niggas in the NFL. You can talk to niggas who are pro wrestlers, niggas who are stockholders, niggas who are internationally known. The world is literally your fucking oyster. No one is relegating you to date a lowly ass bus driver. And another thing that I get sick and tired of this lowly shit is this idea that black men defaultness is these jobs that you're claiming to be so low end that it's almost unnecessary. But who was working during the pandemic? Who were most of those essential workers outside of nurses? It was men. It was men still waking up at 5 a.m. to make sure the power was still fucking on. But they don't get flowers, do they? Nah. They didn't. The essential workers didn't get their flowers for shit. Especially the men. So this crap about, these men are so lowly and pathetic. Y'all bitches were not giving these dudes thank yous. Or giving them their due at that. Problem is that a lot of these black women in these high spaces want to punish the working class black man because they can't get a man. And the thing is, it's like, whoa, I'm seeing all this, I'm seeing you go everywhere and do everything, and you're on these shows, and you're telling me not even one black man you see? No, not one dude can get with you? The dude don't have to play ball to be a rapper. I'm like, come on, I'm pretty sure there's dudes that are out there that are making some good money. Millions at that. But, let you tell it. You speaking as like insanely crazy with in one side of your mouth, you're speaking as if you're the everyday woman. The next minute you're speaking as the exceptional woman, and then it's like, oh well, black men, they just can't keep up. Man, I'm like, what the fuck? Pick a struggle. You're not a middle class. Oh wait, let me scratch that. You're not a low income woman in the projects. Okay? So don't even fix your fucking mouth to talk about black men ain't doing XYZ for you.
But now, okay, well the problem with that approach is you will be blocking out a lot of people, especially immigrants, because my father-in-law was a cab driver for a few years. He came in as a principal of a music school. My mother-in-law had to work in libraries. My brother-in-law...
See, the thing is that a lot of these dudes, y'all are always breaking your back to make sure that your daughter doesn't lift a finger. And these women don't even appreciate... They're not... The black one at least, but even guys in general, they're not going to appreciate you. They're not going to appreciate the men that are, doing the same thing you're doing.
A lawyer from Rio who had to be a jiu-jitsu instructor.
For white women.
Well, if you're only dating a certain type of person, maybe, because these bus drivers, you talk about generational wealth, I would guess, and tell me if I'm in the wrong place, if you're speaking of generational wealth for black people, are you only looking at black bus drivers? Or are you saying for yourself?
I'm saying generational.
Yeah, she's looking at just black bus drivers because that is the default setting. That is the default setting because in their mind, a bus driver is a lowly dude who can't do for shit. Meanwhile, that same bus driver that supposedly ain't doing shit, he's the one picking up your old wrinkly grandmother because you're too fucking lazy and you're too fucking inconsiderate to pick up your own grandma to take her to the hospital. That is that lowly, so-called lowly bus driver that has to do that shit for you. It's that same lowly bus driver who's also taking your black ass to work. Go to these black communities, most of these motherfuckers don't even have cars. And if it wasn't for these city buses in these hoods, man, most of your mama will probably be selling pussy. Because she ain't going to be going nowhere.
Well, as a concept.
Well, because I'm just saying that, like, when I look at these, I wanted to be a teacher. I had no plans of making much money, so I never saw that part. Knowing dating, I feel like you also limit yourself if you remove that they could be the best father, the best partner, treat you better than anyone.
I think we have a lot to say about this, so we'll talk about it when we come back. We were talking about Ebony K. Williams, who basically said to Ayanna Van Zandt, I would only date a bus driver if he owned the bus. And so we had a couple people weigh in. We have some time for Anna and for Alyssa.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. If Ricky Martin was straight and showed up driving a bus, I'd get on it and I'd tell him to drive me right off into the sun.
And you wonder why passport bros are loving Latinas and loving white women's. You wonder.
Look, I think what's important, and we have to understand there's poor immigrant women, there's poor Latina women, there's poor white women, there's poor black women, there's, and getting out of...
Yeah, and they could be, yes, they are poor to all those other races, but the black woman is a loser. Even at the highest level, she is a loser. This is why they have to bully and push around black men in classes that are like 10 levels behind them.
Generational poverty is hard. It's very, very hard, and much harder for...
This bitch talking about generation. The bitch before was talking about generational. Does Sunny Houston has Houston or whatever? Does she have a husband? Are her kids even black? I'm pretty sure she got a white dude, don't she? Let me see. Let me see who her fucking husband is. I bet you he's white. I hate when Bedouins just talk as if they're pro-black. Yeah, it's a fucking what the no. He's light skinned. Oh, he's light skinned. Yeah, he's black ish. Probably a biracial dude, but he's black ish.
But I also think it's important for women to know themselves and what's important to them. I have friends who are married to men who make no money, and they make a ton of money, and they are very, very happy. Yeah. And
The thing is that okay, a lot of women kind of shoot themselves in the foot because it's their fucking ego talking, and that marriage could work. It's probably the marriage is probably fine. But the studies have already been shown that men who that make less money or don't have any income compared to women who are high middle class, they don't get respect. They don't get respect even amongst themselves, their wife, or even their peers. So don't even give them the idea that a marriage couldn't work with a dude not working. Especially in this fucking crisis, a dude couldn't, even in the so-called man crisis, a dude cannot afford to not work. You don't have that fucking luxury. I don't give a fuck how much your wife is making. You don't have that luxury.
make a ton of money.
Well, and because actually, because having those men there, sometimes taking care of the children, taking care of the house, allows them to have those successful careers. No, listen, the important thing.
See, these women shoot themselves in the foot because they're so upper class, and they've probably been to many relationships or married to where they make more than the dude. They probably just married like some raggedy dude after being ran through or whatever by Hollywood, and that they kind of have to like legitimize their own failed relationships. And this is why I would never take advice or take seriously the dating options that celebrities make. Because it's too easy to make the right moves, but they just don't do it. they just don't. So, and a lot of the times they're only speaking to guys in losing positions. They're not talking about guys who are graduating and getting 6-figure jobs at Yale. They're not talking about the dudes in Penn State. They're not talking about the presidents of the presidents and directors of D1 colleges and shit like that. The best they can do is just talk about some lowly dude and try to cherry pick him and make him seem like he's a charity case. These women have really no fucking faith. Even if they're not black, they have no fucking faith on whether or not these dudes can provide or do anything for them. And that's why I think, women, this whole concept with black women of whether or not they deserve love and protection or to be pampered and shit, I say fuck no. They don't deserve that shit. If you don't have faith that I can do it, then why the fuck would I need to do it? And truth be told, I've seen you be more appreciative of men who don't even provide, who don't do X, Y, and Z, get more love, get the box, and get more out of you than the nigga who is providing. So fuck that shit.
Funny is that you don't feel complex about it, that you don't feel insecure about it. If you don't give a damn that your husband makes less money and that you make more money, then all power on you.
Why don't you talk about the dude that makes more money than you? Because these would be the same bitches talking about there's a pay gap. There's a pay gap. White men are making so much more money than us.
Do care. If you do care, then you have to acknowledge it.
Someone who never came from generational wealth and aspires to maybe leave some behind. That's a secondary thing. Happiness is going to be the first thing. Both of my grandparents, I look to them as an example because my actual parents got divorced. They were factory workers, but they loved each other. They provided each other the life that they wanted, and they were happy.
We don't live in those times anymore. We do not live in these Homestead Act times anymore. We do not live in the factory era age anymore. We don't live in the industrial age anymore. So stop looking at your... This is the thing. People shoot themselves in the foot, and black folks make this argument to where it's like, oh, we're gonna look up to these, look up into the generation to where gas was fucking 50 cents. Sorry, it's not gonna fucking cut it. All right, it's not. It's not gonna fucking cut it. Of course, it was easier for Sally Mae to love Charles when Sally Mae, she didn't come from shit, and Charlie is a working class dude, making $3 an hour. It was with the times, but that kind of love don't really mean shit. To be honest with you, it don't mean shit nowadays.
I have seen wildly successful, wealthy people. Think of all the celebrities that have it all and they're going to leave tons behind, but they're not truly in love and happy.
There are a lot of them that are very happy.
But there are ones that are happy. I think it's an admirable thing to want to leave something behind, and that's my goal. But I think first and
But
foremost,
here's the thing, y'all women on the show, you're only talking about what you guys would leave. Actually, you don't even mention what you guys will leave behind. You guys are just airily talking about generational wealth, and I'm like, what is there to pass on? There's nothing special about you to pass on. That's the thing I'm trying to wait and hear, because if you're talking about dudes in a low bitch position. Oh, I know a couple where the guy, he makes no money, but the wife is making the millions, but together they're making a lot. Like, how the fuck how is he not making money? She's making all the money, but it's a weird making. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes zero fucking sense. You guys have to be talking about the guys that are going to be at least above your level or have something going on. You guys always worry about some nigga in the corner and being angry about, oh, why isn't he being constructive? Why isn't he doing something constructive with his life? I don't know. Maybe he's a recovering drug addict.
The happiness. Well, and you also see a lot of people that marry for those things, and we've all had friends like that. And I would rather be alone than lonely next to someone. And I think that's the thing is
all you need to do is just buy a dog.
When you see people doing it for money, it doesn't empty.
And that's most women. That's most women.
And let me make it clear, it's not just for money. I think that every generation needs to do better. At least that is my feeling.
In what?
Mother always told me my average must be excellent. And that is because of the history of African Americans in this country.
Yes.
That is the perspective that I...
Thing is, it's not going to happen when, okay, hey, failing schools. The thing is that black folks need to realize is that this generational wealth era is not going to be us. It's not. It's not even going to be Gen Z, and it's not even going to be Generation Alpha. It's not going to be them. But the thing is, black folks need is to at least get some clout in the political game. That's where it's going to fucking start. But the problem is, black folks don't really have a concentration. And then when there is concentration, guess who gets all the benefits? Oh, it's the girls. The girls get it. The girls get the programs. The girls get the grants to start businesses. What do boys get? Oh, well, the boys, they get a juvenile detention rehab program to where cops and former felons yell at them for 2 hours. And then the last hour, everybody becomes buddy-buddy. We get a bullshit scared straight program. That's what boys get. Okay, well, my son here, he doesn't get into trouble. He doesn't do drugs. He has a curfew. He reads. He makes A's on his report card. What you got for him? Oh, well, we got that same juvenile. Whoa, I say he doesn't get into trouble. What do you have? Oh, we have nothing. You have nothing.
Ebony was coming from, and that is my perspective. Yes. I would not have been able to pay for my son's college, pay for my daughter's private school without the choices that I made. And if not, they would have had to have taken out loans. And there goes another generation saddled with debt and no generational wealth. And
it's just so funny. Like they don't really talk about dudes at all. It's just weird. Like it is this whole conversation about generational wealth, but the only time they bring up dudes is about the bus driver comment and them living in households where women make all the money and they don't make shit. Like, do Western women even acknowledge the existence of men? Like it's just crazy. Like that does not make sense. And none of these chicks ever thought about just dating dudes within their class or finding dudes in their class. But when it comes to Women's Month and talking about the women's pay gap, all of a sudden they know all the white dudes, they know all the dudes who are making XYZ money, and women don't make anything. They know how to bring up that LeBron James, he's making X amount of money, but what's the other one? Jordan, I think, is Jordan Sparks a WNBA player or is she a singer? Oh, it's a singer. But they'll bring up that some WNBA woman athlete is making the half of the salary of an NBA mascot and shit. It's really interesting how you know how to find capable dudes and compare their salaries, but when it comes to dating, you guys don't even know how to do that. You guys don't even in this freaking 6-minute conversation. They can't even talk about dudes in higher positions. Again, their default setting is a bus driver, is in their mind a lowly bus driver and a dude who makes no income.
Accept that.
I always marry teachers. So I always marry teachers. Teachers never make a lot of money.
And you have no way to do that.
Why is she only marrying teachers? Like you're a TV host in bigger circles. And you're white. You're telling me that women are just so freaking stupid, man.